A better way to pay your UTG fees with instant proof of payment and real-time student portal update. Paying your University of the Gambia fees has never been easier or more convenient. With Ecobank, students, parents and guardians can pay UTG tuition and related fees through our secure digital banking channels such as Ecobank mobile app, Ecobank Online and Ecobank Omni Lite. Once payment is completed, instant proof of payment is generated and the UTG student portal is updated in real time, allowing students to proceed immediately with registration, course selection and clearance without unnecessary delays, while giving parents and guardians peace of mind that payments have been successfully processed. How to pay via the Ecobank mobile app. Open the Ecobank mobile app and navigate to the home screen. Select Pay Bill, choose Pay a New Bill and select Schools from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. How to pay via Ecobank Online or Omni Lite. Log in to Ecobank Online and Omni Lite using your credentials. Select the menu and choose Bill Payments. Choose Quick Bill Pay and select School from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Walk into any Ecobank branch or pay through our digital channels and enjoy instant proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank.
Santa Yala.
Lekar, utul wave, nga scan, nga fay, nak doo ci yokku dara.
Jah Oil Company stands tall as a trusted name in energy, keeping the Gambia moving with service stations across the country and a commitment to innovation and reliability. In Farafenni, Jah Group is reshaping our industrial landscape. The Jah Oil Cement Factory can produce up to 100,000 bags a day, reducing imports, creating jobs, and building a stronger Gambia brick by brick. And in the heart of the Central River region, Jah Farming Initiative is cultivating food security. With thousands of hectares under development and modern irrigation, Jah Farming is turning the Gambia's soil into abundance. Jah Group is more than a company. It is a vision of self-sufficiency, resilience, and progress. The Jah Group of companies, investing in industry, agriculture, and energy, building the Gambia's future today. On Monday, the 1st of June 2026, show with Coffee Time with Peter Gomez. Our guest is Ambassador Essa Bokar. So much for his presidential ambition. Let's now talk about issues facing the country. The resignation of the CDS Chief of Defense Staff. You were once in the military as a gendarme, I'm told. His resignation has raised a lot of eyebrows.
Yes, absolutely.
From your perspective as a security analyst, what does this say about the state of our army, military, the armed forces?
Well, number one, Peter, it makes me feel so bad and sad whenever I hear a scandal or anything like that in the military, because I keep telling people, apart from having gone to high school and all that, anything I began with professionally was built in that army. Because even the French, I studied and went to France and came back, I improved my French from high school at the military during the Senegalese gendarmerie being here when I was sent to Senegal to do some training. So definitely I owe a lot to the gendarmerie, to the Gambia Armed Forces, to the Gambia Police Force. It is very, very unfortunate. This is a person I know also personally. We meet at Takwamos, pray together. Okay? So if I tell anybody that I am indifferent or it doesn't affect me whether Mohamed Cham stays as the CDS or not, I'm not saying the truth. I know him personally, and I know Sen also. The one who is
making the, or who made the allegations.
He talks to me still directly, personally, and I may not divulge, because I don't think Sen is even ready to stop. Let me say that to people, because Sen has so much that he is ready to
much more to reveal.
Yes, because he is around, he watches me wherever I go to, and I don't think Sen will
just leave it on it.
Sen will entertain that. I mean, and he knows me. He knows that I keep record when I am talking to people, because I want to make reference. But Sen is not yet done, though. That I can say. He has a lot to say, because there are things that he has already said verbally. I mean, and he doesn't even want anybody to relay his story for him. That's what he says. He said that because if any day I'm facing a panel or anything, I'm the one who will speak for myself. So this is not good, because I think that the CDS, or the former CDS, I don't know whether I want to use the word comment, but I support the idea that he resigned, because at this point of time, professionally, whether it is the military or not, the best option for anybody to take is what he did. He should resign. Some people are speculating, saying, oh, did he resign or did he? I told them I don't want to jump into that vessel of speculations, because he has resigned. Let's give him the credit that he is honorable enough to resign. That's it. I don't want to know whether somebody met him somewhere and told him to resign. Why would I try to crack my head over that? Resignation is a resignation. He has resigned. That's it. But now the thing is, analytically, I mean, at least some of us were here, not only here, I was in France, and I've worked with some, as a contractor with US forces and all that. And then when it comes to military, confidence is part of it. But when the threat of discipline, Peter, and authority is loose, that's not good. And you cannot have it strong when the one on top, the apex, like they say in Fula, say go bonita limore ayema. They said if you are counting, if one has a problem, then two cannot be good. Okay. So Peter, the thing is, it's unfortunate that this has happened to Mamat, who is a person that many, and I know that this young man, some people should restrain themselves from pointing fingers at him. This person could have taken a bullet for Mohamed Cham. I have done investigations. I don't know what is the fundamental part of what brought all this, but I know that there is a time in his life he could have taken a bullet for Mohamed Cham. I know that.
He believed that much in him.
Yeah, and then he has a lot of respect for him. I think, Peter, you see, Gambia, most of these differences grow because of the Gambian attitude. Gambians like what they call male. Okay, when things like this start, I wish I knew about this. What I would have done was to drive my car, bring sense, make them sit down, and let's look through these things and see how to remedy it, whether it is legal or moral, but it should have been. But people left it to grow. I mean, according to what I investigated, the young man was sometime detained, something like that. Okay? You know, that's not the way. Petrol does not put a fire. You can't use petrol to put a fire. Sure. Then you add more fire, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So people should have, but Gambia, like I always like saying it, excuse me, sometimes I like bringing the Quran sometimes. Yeah, you know, Gambia here, Peter, they like saying, ki niti jamala, you know what I'm saying. You know, even if you wrong Peter, they will just say, well, Peter Munyal hanga kisa. You are telling Peter Munyal, esa niti jamala. Already you are telling Peter, yo kon yo do niti jamala.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Lord na indi jam.
They did.
You know, so the thing is, we all know the surah, the imams are watching. Watawasa bil haqq, watawasa bil sabri. You see, if you are beginning with sabar and then you don't want to bring truth, you can never get it. You cannot you hear them say tamper justice with mercy, sorry. Have you ever had tamper mercy with justice?
No.
Peter?
No.
I mean, that's what you see in the Gambia.
You only temper justice with mercy.
Sorry, temper. I'm saying temper. Temper. I mean, you see that in the Gambia here, people, Peter, you know the culture here. I'm sure these are some of these things in the past they might have even angered you or something. Because you see, Gambians, things are wrong. Yeah. They will still want to appease with you to forgive the one who did the wrong. What I would have advised my dear brother, the CDS. I mean, a person I respect, I don't like seeing him in this situation, to be honest with you, whether he believes it or not. I would have brought Sen, make him sit down. But Gambia, when you are on top, Peter, they will always want to clap for you when you have an issue with another person. If it degenerates, that person will turn into a victim and they will sympathize with you.
But in terms of reputational damage, do you think it only stops at the CDS personally, or it affects the entire armed forces?
That's why I said this Sen is not ready to start.
Okay.
You see? Because people, some people are trying to diminish him and say he was just a clerk. No. You see, Gambia, we like that. Even Isa, you yourself, Peter.
It's not his position that is in question
exactly.
here. It's what he is saying was done
exactly
by the most trusted person, if you like, in the armed forces.
That's why when you said he is not done, you are right. The thing is that I don't know if for me, I can even appeal to him to come and sit with you here. He will come.
No, well, listen. if I had opened the door to him, he would have started his allegations here.
Good. Okay. No, that's just an expression I'm making when you say thing. But the thing is that now that particular individual has mentioned names. I will not mention those names. It is him who will mention those names. It's a booby trap. You know, when you lay mines, those who mine detectors.
Now you are getting into the military language.
Yes. Eh? Now the booby trap, you remove the main mine, that doesn't mean that the small mines are off.
So Cham is gone.
Yeah.
But we also have serious allegations against the National Security Advisor.
My dear brother.
Well, I started school with him.
I know.
A good friend of mine.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. Well, I call him that because anytime we meet is only respect. But
how should, these scandals be handled to restore, confidence in our national security institutions?
For me, my recommendation is independent, impartial investigations. No stone should be left unturned. Everything should be investigated. And when the investigation is to be done, the person doing it has to have that acumen in you to understand, because investigating military is not the same as investigating civilian institutions. One has to be cautious. It is delicate. It is about security. You have to be cautious of breaking the backbone of the security, because for me, I will not side with anybody in any situation where it's about instability. Everybody knows that. I'm not saying it because I believe I love the country to be stable more than even any person who may think that you have that authority with you. So investigating military is very delicate, Peter. They have to, but you cannot let this go also like that, because the ripple effect.
Yeah. So even though for now there are allegations, I mean, it would be foolish to just say, well, they are just allegations, as government tends to do, unfortunately.
I think Mama Cham's resignation has made it impossible for anybody to say it's just allegations. His resignation itself, even if you want to just stop it there. One thing I support his idea on is that at least he's out, so that if investigations are to be conducted, you will not say, oh, call the CDS, the panel will be there, and some people will be under him. I think he should be commended for that.
And to his credit, he has said that, he will cooperate with any investigations.
I think for me, I'm very much fair in this context, that nothing else can I say about his resignation other that at least definitely if he got
Okay. And then, of course, we have GCAA, you know, allegations against the leadership about some aircraft with no, you know, permission suddenly landing in this country. What's going on?
The coconut siblings also, you know, I mean, I heard about that. In fact, sometimes I say I don't want to enter into speculations professionally. I drove by that place where they have the coconut 4 days ago, 3 days ago, with the young man you saw outside. I don't want to enter it. I went, stood, and looked at the coconut siblings. And I said, that's it. Anything I hear, because when I receive information from Sen or anybody else, what I tell them is professionally, you give me information, I process the information. If I process it and analyze it, I see that I may have backup. You may be a Gambian, you may be a non-Gambian, but you have to help me to do because these are very serious things. And the scandals upon scandals upon scandals, what the government needs to know is that someone like me, I'm not happy about it. No serious citizen would want to see a government crumble and fail just because I want you to fail. I don't want to inherit a government that has crumbled, that has failed, that's a laughing stock. I don't want to do that. It's not good for the country. In fact, it's not about the government anymore. Okay. The people who are working in this government, sometimes also you see that leaders, the only thing I would advise my brother on, which is the president, is that, you see, when you bring along from home this culture of ma diwla duma ko ruslo, let Adama understand, people do not have issues, don't dislike him. I don't belong
people
to
who know him say he is too loyal.
Yeah,
you know,
so that kind of
past
thing.
relations.
Yeah.
He grew up with Esa Bokarsi in the same neighborhood.
No.
He feels that he owes Esa Bokarsi.
I can read that in him. As I said, personally, I keep repeating this. Personally, I have no problem with Adama Barrow. No. Personally, I don't have a problem with Yahya Jammeh. No. The thing is that it's the institution and the functionalities of this institution. Peter, you and I know where there is no functionality, there is no institution. But where there is functionality and there are deficiencies in functionality, there is still no institution.
You've served as ambassador in multiple countries. Yes. How do you assess the current state of Gambian diplomacy? Would you say, like, you know, some of them do say, we are punching above our weight, or would you say we have fallen short, are falling short?
Well, the thing is that I'll begin with the person who is there. He was in the military, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sering my dear brother Sengbi. You know, well, some people will say he's a military man, but he served as a diplomat for so many years in one of the most complex places too. The Eurasia area, because Turkey is Eurasia. Yes. I mean, I have met him on the ground, I found him on the field, and I know what, at least he was trying his best. Now, the thing is, Sering Modo himself, if I were to advise him, I would advise the same thing I said about my brother. Let him understand one thing. He has to revamp certain embassies. He has to revamp the structure. He has to avoid saying that, oh, I may offend these people because you are politically connected. If I were to be the Minister of Foreign Affairs, if I touch you and they say you are untouchable, then I will leave, but I'll touch you. Because diplomacy, the classic part of it, the cream part of it, the professional part of it, is the best for a country like the Gambia. So far we don't have any natural resource that we can run around with. It's only services that can make us survive. And number one, on top of the chart of services, is diplomats. We have to have the people outside, Peter, to sell our potentials and to bring potential, match them with our potential. And you cannot do that with people who are using a flowchart error or using a torchlight, fumbling in the dark, avoiding crocodiles and anacondas in the dark. You can't do that. You have to be serious. That I'm not going to be merciful about.
So currently you would say our, diplomacy needs revamping.
Yes.
The missions right around the world need revamping.
I'm not saying everybody, but
And what does revamping mean? Could it also mean resizing, as they say now?
There's what they call the zoning and mapping. There was a time, some of us, Gambia's economy right now, the world economy where it is, needs austerity measures. And we will come to that as far as the government is concerned. But when it comes to the diplomats, maintaining diplomats is very difficult, Peter. It's very expensive, particularly if it's just a tax-based economy, particularly where those diplomats do not transform themselves into what I call transformational leadership, but you cannot be a transactional diplomat. You have to have the two in you. So walk around, make sure that what is being spent on you, what you bring home is proportional to that. But you cannot be a diplomat simply because you have a flag, you have a bench, you run around, you have an expensive car, because I'm an ambassador representing. When you're an ambassador, you are representing to bring home something. And these embassies everywhere, they should be downsized. Some of us, when I was in France, I covered Romania, I covered, this place, Hungary, I covered Bulgaria, I covered Portugal, I covered Spain. I traveled to all these, I met President Putin. We went to... Yes. I met him.
When he wasn't president, or when he was president?
When he was president.
Ah, interesting.
Yes, I met him, definitely.
Okay.
So, a person I like anyway. So this is the thing that I'm saying. We have to downsize. What I want to advise this...
But not close down.
For me particularly, if I were to be asked, close down will be part of it.
Okay.
Some of them, you don't need to.
Which ones?
Why, for example, today, why there are embassies, some people, I see them writing about it, I would not recommend their closure because of strategic reasons. You don't close that of Guinea-Bissau, you don't close that of Mauritania, no, for strategic reasons.
Well, those have been there for ages, haven't they?
But if I were to say that, the Mauritania one can cover Morocco, why not?
And then you close down Morocco?
Not to close it, you can downsize it. Some people will tell me, Morocco is very important. Yes, it is important. I understand that. But for strategic reasons, if it is about security, because those embassies that I mentioned, they are more related to security strategic reasons than anything else. Mauritania is very important there. Okay, why not they cover Morocco? I'm just giving an example. Morocco may stay, but now let's say we have France, an embassy in Spain, an embassy in I don't know, why all that? France is a member of the Security Council, permanent member. If you are there, you carry the weight to cover Spain and all this stuff, so you can have a consulate there. When I was there, these consuls, also, the minister, I would advise him, some of these, maybe he's doing it, I'm not sure, some of these consuls, they need to be called for consultancy, and then, for...
consultation?
Consultation, okay, because they need to be told that you are a consul because there is a government. You are a consul because people elected a president. Serve the people and make sure that the president's name will not be spoiled. Most of the time, these flights, these jets they hire, some of these consuls, you know how to approach them, you talk to them, they will know how to help you to get those jets. The only thing you will do is to fuel. Or assign the consuls, because you know why somebody is a consul?
No.
It's either you are influential professionally or economically. For me, if you are not influential economically or professionally, they bring your file before me as an ambassador, I will turn it down. I recommend to the president that don't hire him. But if we have people walking around, ambassador at large, and then you go and bring people, recommend them, that's not what I would recommend for the president. You see, because one thing I can say, it's not difficult to be an ambassador of a president who is not aggressive. It's not difficult. The easiest presidents to be ambassadors for are those who are not aggressive. So let them downsize, let them close some, and let them engage these consuls and tell them you either have to do something or we will remove you. Because these consuls, some people will tell you, the consuls are helping us. No. They have cards. They buy cars duty-free. They buy computers duty-free. If they want to rent their places, it will be duty-free. And that is given to them by the Gambians. Here, I am not opposing. I am being a Gambian, taking a Republican standing, giving a very sincere advice to anybody, whether you are in government or you will be in government in the future, to know that we need those kind of austerity measures. Let these consuls be engaged to help us. If not, let them leave the job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, we need every penny we can get.
Absolutely.
From especially our diplomatic relations. Let's talk about the Gulf, the crisis in the Gulf. Recently, a Gambia flagged ship was attacked by the U.S. Navy and disabled from, what you read. What's your reading of this incident, and what does it mean for,
because
Gambian maritime credibility?
Because you see, I am pulling some things that I was discussing with some professionals who are part of these things and they understand. But there is, before I go to that, Peter, I just wanted to pull a press release from the, we'll analyze that, but I'll start right now. We'll analyze that very soon. Okay, I think I shared that with some other people. I'm not sure whether I sent it to you or not, but I don't think Peter
But
did.
if it's relevant to the question, why not? You can go
So now, I read it after and analyze it. Now, Peter, let's look at it this way. We build we write a scenario. In intelligence, those who are used to the tradecraft, they know. I mean, I'm not sure whether you are an MI6 or whatever. So,
MI6, come on.
so, you write these scenarios, Peter. Now, the scenario that is present before us, Gambia as a country, not only the government, but even a citizen, let's just be careful of trying to take sides here. Some people are so emotionally charged. Anything they will just say, oh, yeah, we are Muslim. And no. This situation about a Gambian vessel with a Gambian flag, for me, if I say it right now, people will say, oh, yeah, because he lives in America, he support. No, I'm not supporting America. I am supporting truth. What the Gambia should do right now is to find out, if they deny that they do not know who took it, anybody who put our flag there, if that's the departure point, then the best option is join hands, work in tandem with the Federal Bureau of Investigations, join hands, work in tandem with the Central Intelligence Agency, and then the CENTCOM in Florida and others, AFRICOM in Germany, and join hands so that they can help you to know who is taking your flag and using it in that dangerous war zone. Because, look, people have to understand, in military context, there is what they call legitimate target. So one has to be careful of transforming yourself into a legitimate target in a murky situation you do not even understand. But that doesn't mean, I'm saying if that's the departure point. Some people, Gambia, people like the easy route. They are always yawning and stretching their muscles between wishes and convenience, which is very dangerous. We should not side with anybody other than the ones that desecrated or bombarded the aircraft. What led them to bombarding the aircraft? It is a legitimate target. Now, the legitimacy of a target is not only geolocation. It can also expand from the circle of geolocation to geointelligence. Okay? Now, when it spans out to geointelligence, people have to be very careful, Peter, because the thing is, do you expect in a war zone, a country that is at war with another country, see your own flag on a ship, and then the flags, let's pray that this will be the last one. Because let me tell you one thing, if it continues and then they keep seeing Gambian flag, are we not exposing ourselves to the list of legitimate targets? I mean, people have to think about that. Now, let's come to the sequence of events and what led to this. You know, when analysts are analyzing things, especially intel, MI or whatever you call it, they go through sequence of events and sequence of terms. What would I call? Let's say sequence of events. And then I like using this terminology, association of variables. Okay. Now, the one variable is the Gambian flagged vessel. Okay? Yeah. Now, what happened before? There was a time during the former regime. Yeah. We had reports about a ship that was intercepted in Nigeria, still from Iran. And people said, no, these are arms destined for the Gambia. Later on, we heard that the arms it was a ship loaded with tiles. Other people said the ship was loaded with agricultural material, isn't it? This is how countries that are engaged, this is how their Intel and other people may think. In fact, not even Intel, but the professional. Now, from there, they said, okay, this is susceptible to being suspicious or whatever it is. Now, then from there, we had another one, Senegal. There was a time during the former President Abdoulaye Wade's time, didn't he break relationship with Iran? Not anything against Iran. I'm analyzing how the mindset of the professional builds up. We heard there were arms discovered in the southern part of Senegal. The arms were built in Iran. They were produced in Iran. Investigators went further. Anybody who denies in this government or anybody who wants to deny, I don't speculate. I'm speaking professionally and the archives are there. They can ask Dakar. Their intel bureaus will tell them the facts. The facts are still in the archives. Then it was discovered. Iran said, yes, these arms are from us. But we did not ship it to the southern part. It might have been a third party. I think, if I remember very right, they were pointing at a country like Ukraine. This is some time ago. Senegalese intel came, zoomed on it, microscopically, went and found out that that particular third party is in the Gambia. How it transits. I am not going to point fingers. Sometimes we make mistake and point fingers at the former president. No. It might have been a relay point of contact, a relay POC in the Gambia. Maybe that former president doesn't even know the person. So this is how they, when you investigate, Peter, don't follow people, follow facts. Where I investigate, I see that these things, they built up. Now, you see the American government or any other government is watching the activities of the Gambia Maritime Administration. Let them not make a mistake about it.
Do you think they will view every Gambia flagged ship with suspicion?
Even me, right now, if I were to be assigned, even though you can call me somebody who was born in Kuntaya, but I am working for the U.S.
Yeah.
If I were to be assigned, that's exactly the way I will think. I will not mince my words about that.
Okay.
Because the moment I see what Gambia should do is to cooperate with those people who bomb the place, but let us not emotionally start taking sides. And that will be a very dangerous route, because if we take sides, means you are transforming yourself remotely into a legitimate target, and that's very dangerous. Now, let me come and read this
press release.
This press release here, and we analyze it. I'll analyze it.
Okay.
Resumption of ship registration.
Yes.
Okay? This is coming from our Gambia Maritime. They said, ship registry circular, marine notice 0126 this year. Okay? Lifting of moratorium on vessel. Registration under the Gambian flag effective 1st January 2026. We are in June, 6 months down the line.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
That's how investigators think. Now, ship owners, managers, operators, port state control authorities, local agents, recognized organizations, deputy registers, and all related maritime. That's what they address it to. Now, let's go to the language here, Peter. I hope we have time. We are pleased to inform you that the Gambia Maritime Administration has lifted. They further went on, maritime service providers are advised to coordinate with vessels they wish to register under the Gambian flag. Okay? It is important to note that the administration will accept registration application only through registered local agents. If I were to be assigned to look through the Gambian file, I will put a question mark. Why only local agents? Why? And who are these local agents? That's what I would ask. Are they susceptible to being corrupted? I'm not saying everybody, but most likely. This will draw me back now to that shipment of arms to the southern part. So are these people quarantined? Do we trust them? How did they become local agents? Do we have a system in the country where you have security clearance if you want to be a local agent? This is what the investigators look at. Okay? Furthermore, vessels that are sanctioned by the US, EU, UK, and Canada will be ineligible for registration under the Gambian flag, in line with our commitment. I would have suspected this paragraph. Me. If I am assigned to handle the Gambia's case, I would suspect this paragraph.
What's suspicious about that paragraph?
I will say, what are you preempting? Because you just said EU, UK, and Canada, and US. It's like, hey, trust me. I would not have written it like that. I would have just said the vessels that are sanctioned by recognize countries whose activities are well known in all other parts of especially in maritime, the Gulf of Aden, Hormuz and all that. But you just don't single out.
Or just leave it general. Just say sanctioned vessels.
Because they think that will make the U.S. trust them. It will, in fact, make the U.S. will distrust them. Because you are trying to show, oh, you people, U.S., EU, UK, Canada. No. You don't write it like that. That's not what, if I were to be assigned to analyze it, to help US have a perception of it, I would put a question mark and tell the authorities in Washington that I suspect this paragraph because why are they singling you out? It's more of trying to cover your eyes. Oh, trust me, I'll do it. US doesn't operate like that. UK does not operate like that. Canada. You can say it, Peter, but they will still come on the ground and say, who are these local agents? What is the eligibility requirement of this local agent? They will follow them and do, I wouldn't say they, but if I was assigned to do it personally, like as a professional, I would have sent surveillance on those local agents too and find out their activities. Whether they come to Peter at Kotu in the evening, whether they talk to Peter, I will not take. I will take my time. See, this is it. We encourage all stakeholders to take the necessary steps to facilitate smooth registration processes and ensure compliance with the new guidelines. I don't like the language itself because the language is too much like Mandama Bahde, Mandama said the bullet must suspect. You don't need to do that. You don't need to write like that. You don't need to try to convince them with those sweet words. The operatives don't think like that. They are very reasonable.
We were just talking about scandal. They just came from a major scandal leading to a change of administration. So
the Maritime. Exactly.
So maybe, the new bosses are simply saying, well, don't associate us with whatever was the practice
in fact, we have data that they re-registered 70 vessels. But you re-register 70 vessels. You came back and then said, this is the press release to show that you are the clean Tommy or the clean Mary. No, you are not.
For you, it doesn't work.
No, as a professor,
for you, it doesn't work.
Now I am detaching myself from anything emotionally Gambian. I'm being that professional. If I were to be assigned to do the job, that's the way I will approach it. You know what Gambia government should do in this case?
No.
Associate themselves with those people who bombarded the airline and let them help them. Because even if people are using our flag, we don't know who they are, we don't have the right mechanism to know them, they should work in tandem with the Central Intelligence Agency, with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, NSA, and then send a mission to United States, sit with them and be very honest and frank about it. And be very much, let them work hard on maritime security agreement.
Yeah, maybe we should look at the registration process itself, the entire system, because if ships can come from anywhere in the world and, register under the Gambia flag, you don't know what they will go out there and do. But we have to, end, it's already 10 past 10?
Oh.
The next guest is already waiting.
Okay.
From coalition politics to diplomacy and security, what's your message to Gambians listening today about the way forward?
Well, the way forward is that let us take our nation seriously. We cannot, I like the way you put it, we cannot always basing things on what is electoral. Let's be issues driven. Let us try it, even if it is a broad base. A broad base also, just by itself, could still come back to electoral. So I think we should be careful within a strategic document to be issues driven.
Fantastic. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for coming.
A better way to pay your UTG fees with instant proof of payment and real-time student portal update. Paying your University of the Gambia fees has never been easier or more convenient. With Ecobank, students, parents and guardians can pay UTG tuition and related fees through our secure digital banking channels such as Ecobank mobile app, Ecobank online and Ecobank Omni Lite. Once payment is completed, instant proof of payment is generated and the UTG student portal is updated in real time, allowing students to proceed immediately with registration, course selection, and clearance without unnecessary delays, while giving parents and guardians peace of mind that payments have been successfully processed. How to pay via the Ecobank mobile app. Open the Ecobank mobile app and navigate to the home screen. Select Pay Bill. Choose Pay a New Bill and select Schools from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. How to pay via Ecobank Online or OmniLite. Log in to Ecobank Online and OmniLite using your credentials. Select the menu and choose Bill Payments. Choose Quick Bill Pay and select School from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Walk into any Ecobank branch or pay through our digital channels and enjoy instant proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank.
Reflefe. Sant yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
Jah Oil Company stands tall as a trusted name in energy, keeping the Gambia moving with service stations across the country and a commitment to innovation and reliability. In Farafenni, Jah Group is reshaping our industrial landscape. The Jah Oil Cement Factory can produce up to 100,000 bags a day, reducing imports, creating jobs, and building a stronger Gambia brick by brick. And in the heart of the Central River region, Jah Farming Initiative is cultivating food security. With thousands of hectares under development and modern irrigation, Jah Farming is turning the Gambia's soil into abundance. Jah Group is more than a company. It is a vision of self-sufficiency, resilience, and progress. The Jah Group of companies, investing in industry, agriculture, and energy, building the Gambia's future today.